The first rays of sunlight peeked over the horizon, painting the sky in hues of orange and pink. The cool morning air was filled with the sweet song of birds as they chirped their greetings to the day. It was a new day, a fresh start, and for some, an opportunity for a new beginning. Their names were whispered in boardrooms and mentioned in hushed tones in the high society parties. These two individuals were known as the architects of prosperity, the masterminds behind the empire that seemed to touch every aspect of the city's economic landscape. They were the kind of people whose influence could make or break industries, whose decisions could send ripples of fortune or misfortune crashing through the city's inhabitants. But the tranquility of this moment was not shared by all. People were getting ready for work, students were rushing to school, and shopkeepers were unrolling their shutters, revealing their wares to the eager customers. The city was alive with activity, a symphony of car horns. The chatter of people and the rumble of machinery, all blending together to form the city's unique melody. For these two partners, once inseparable in their ambitions and goals, had begun to drift apart. He was slumped over his desk, his face buried in his hands, oblivious to the world around him. He had grand aspirations, a burning desire to make a mark on the world. He refused to give up, driven by an inner strength born out of necessity. A chance encounter, a random act of kindness, or perhaps a well-timed intervention could change everything. And although he couldn't see it yet, the universe was already orchestrating a series of events that would soon intersect with Ethan's life, setting him on a path he could never have imagined. Ethan was determined to make something happen, to somehow turn his luck around. Maybe he'd find a job. Maybe he'd borrow some money from someone who'd be willing to lend. Your support means everything to us, and we can't wait to bring you the next episode. See you soon. But whatever it was, he needed a miracle, and he needed it fast. But lately, those dreams had been suffocating, replaced by the chilling grip of despair. He had been on the streets for days, trying to make ends meet, his stomach growling in protest against the lack of food. His clothes were dirty and his hair unkempt, a stark contrast to the once vibrant young man, full of hope and ambition. His name was Ethan Hayes, a young man in his early 20s, who was grappling with a reality that felt heavier than the world he knew. The chasm between them was not easily visible, expertly concealed as it was behind closed doors. The gnawing in his stomach intensified, and he could feel his mind slipping. The weight of his circumstances pressing down on him like a physical burden. The bright ideas he used to have were now distant memories, replaced by the desperate need to find food and perhaps a place to sleep. He was caught in a web of poverty, and it seemed the more he struggled, the deeper he sank. But those who had the privilege of witnessing it, even from afar, could sense the undercurrent of animosity. The subtle digs now, as he sat in his dingy room. The harsh lines on his face belied his years. He wasn't just battling hunger and fatigue. He was fighting for survival, trying to keep his head above the waves of hardship that threatened to pull him down, and veiled threats that occasionally surfaced during their rare public appearances. For deep within the heart of the city, hidden away from the admiring eyes of the world, there existed a haven of luxury and power, a place where fortunes were made and broken, and where the shadows held secrets that could shake the very foundations of the society. Here, amidst the sprawling acres of land, resided two figures who were about to change everything. However, beneath the glossy veneer of their success, there were brewing tensions, cracks in the armor that even the keenest of eyes might have trouble spotting. And now, in the solitude of their luxurious homes, as the rest of the city stirred to life, they both found themselves contemplating the same. What would become of their partnership? Would it crumble under the weight of their own making? Or would it adapt, evolving into something even stronger? Only time would tell. Meanwhile, in the bustling heart of the city, the day was just beginning. Amidst this chaos, there was one person who was not interested in the rising sun or the bustling city. Ethan's story was not an unusual one. He was a college dropout who had dared to dream big. His current predicament was brought on by his father's ill health, forcing Ethan to drop out of college and take on the responsibility of the family's financial needs. As the morning wore on, Ethan found himself growing weaker. However, amidst this bleakness, a tiny ember of hope still flickered within him. Little did he know that fate had a peculiar way of intervening, often when least expected. To be continued. Hey guys, if you liked this episode, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe so you never miss an update.